Right, this is part 2 of tidying up a small border and adding a few more plants. So lower your expectations. This is not going to be a huge reveal, massive transformation. It's just going to be a bit of weeding, which is done, and like I say, new plantings. And these are fairly small plants, so they're going to have to fill out. It's early season, so we'll see how it goes anyway. So we didn't get actually everything we talked about in the first video, so again, if you haven't seen the first, I'd definitely consider watching that first before watching this. But this is what we're looking at now. So this border was sort of full of strap leafy plants and grasses. So simply all we've done is just open it up so it gets light into the back of the border, and just took out that nasty grass that was taken over. So we said elephant ears, colocaceas. That's exactly what we've put in. So we've got Esculenta. So this is one pot full of dried store tubers that I had over winter. Started them off early in the greenhouse, so they're starting to come on now. So that's the sort of size leaf we're looking at. That was one bulb, and it's pushed out loads. It's the pink china, so I had 3 in one pot. So I had to divide them up, and this is why we're getting a crinkly leaf, because that's dried out. They don't like their roots played with. So the ones that have popped straight out of the pot and gone on the ground, absolutely fine. The ones I had to sort of carefully divide probably broke a few roots, so they are going to throw a bit of a tantrum for a bit, but keep them well watered and they'll recover. So that's the pink china. Another Esculenta here, nice sort of rounded leaf, doing quite well. Another, again, this one tuber in a pot or corm, and 3 growth points on that. This is an unnamed variety. It is possibly one I bought from Morrison's supermarket a few years back. We've got a Colocasia fonticei or fonticei. So that's you get the darker veins in the leaf and the dark stem on that, so that's quite a nice one. Another pink china. This one's absolutely thrown a fit. That's perfect when it went in, and just a few hours later, obviously it's quite warm. Watered it twice already and curling up, but not concerned, that will soon bounce back. This is another Colocasia. This is another unnamed, so this could be one that I bought from a supermarket stroke Asian shop at some point. I do that basically every year. I always try a couple just to see what you get. So this one is quite a lime green, as with the stem, but again, that was dry stored. Then we've got another pink china, another Esculenta there. So we've got some left over. So again, we can see that there. It's just one corm in the centre of the pot, and you always expect just to grow from the centre, and the centre one to be massive. But in general, what most of these are telling me is that the side shoots tend to be more vigorous than the actual corm. The energy is just getting pulled out of the corm for the side shoots. So this seems to be the general rule here, and we can see perfectly on that one that the centre's not hardly grown, but these side shoots have popped out. So I've got a couple more to play with. They may well go in other areas along the sunny border. Oh yeah, let's not forget, I put a Thai giant in as well. Couldn't resist it. I had a couple. It's warm enough now, they can go outside. So we'll see how that one does. So yeah, literally just weeded and put the old colocaceas in. So that's going to give us a good contrast to the more sort of, like I say, the sort of strappy leaves of the other foliage here, and hopefully once the cannas at the back and dahlias start, you know, kicking in properly, we'll have a good variety of foliage mix and colours and all that business. Yeah, so I did do a little bit of weeding on the arid bed, and I got the hoe out and got round some areas quite easy with that, but when it comes into sort of getting close into the cacti themselves, I managed to get a few pricks, let's say, in my finger, and it weren't comfortable, so I sort of gave up on that. But what I am going to do is at some point I will put a weed membrane down and re-gravel, because the whole thing has sunken a little bit since I created this a couple of years back, and it's sort of sunk maybe a good 2 or 3 inches now. Everything's settled, so I may well, I'm not going to raise up with soil, just keep raising it up with gravel, just so it's free draining around the plants. Obviously I don't want to smother the plants, and I don't really want to dig every individual plant out and raise them up, so I'm not going to be doing that. I mean, luckily with the Brahea Amata there, I did raise that up a fair bit, and where the soil has sunk down I can see a few roots along the bottom there, so that's going to probably benefit that, just to be the roots there in you know, under gravel level, so they're not getting too much light to them, and obviously that's going to be well free draining. So yeah, so it's a little bit tidier anyway, and like I say, no big reveal. This is not a gardening program where it's, you know, all done in one day. You know, we don't get specimen plants in, we grow them from scratch, so they'll grow throughout the season. So something to, we'll keep you updated with as and when we sort of walk around the garden, really. But that's pretty much that. I have still got loads of these. I mean, honestly, if you buy one plant, especially with the Escalente, Colocasia Escalente, which is like the original, I think I bought one plant maybe 4 years ago, and from that they're all in the garden. I normally leave them in ground, perfectly hardy, and I always divide them up at the end of the season, leave some in the ground, dry store some just in case. But yeah, never always seem to come back, even after the winter we had. They all seem to be coming back in the garden. So this is why I was comfortable putting all these elephant ears in here, because I know I can just give them a good mulch, and they should all come back next year. But that's one for next year to look out for. We'll see on that one. But in general, I think most of them should be pretty hardy, other than the Thai Giant, which is not hardy at all, and it's a bit of a pain to get through winter, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right, let's leave it there then. Don't need to keep going on. That is this little area tidied up for now. Like I say, I just need to finish the arid bed, but that's right on the bottom of my list of priorities. I have got plenty of other borders with plenty of weeds coming through, and now the weather's warmed up I want to get some more tropicals out, so I'll be doing more videos on that sort of thing. Like I say, more colocasias, more maybe the dwarf Cavendish bananas, and you know, maybe just some summer bedding plants, that sort of thing. We're going to be doing that over the next week or so. So we'll be keeping you updated on that and doing videos as well. I don't say it much, but you know, subscribing is free. Liking the video, or you know, subscribing to the channel, that's all free. It don't cost you nothing. Go for it. And I know I'm the same. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and you know, my subscriptions, I don't watch every single video. If it's relevant to what I'm interested in at the time, I'll watch it. If it's not, I'm not. So you know, I don't expect everyone to watch every video, but what I will say is I get a lot of questions on videos, and to be honest, most of the questions have already been answered in the video, but I know a lot of people sort of fast forward, as it were, to get to the good bits or whatever. But yeah, I mean, that would save me time if you watched the whole video, just to save me having to answer the same question that maybe I've already answered in the video. Alright, let's leave it there. Thanks for watching.